Hello everyone, my name is Gunjan Roy. Today we are going to see chapter 1 Rational and Irrational Numbers of Standard 8. First we are going to see what is number system. You studied in your kindergarten 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, these numbers are nothing but natural numbers. So natural numbers are nothing but 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. Okay, next we also studied 0. When 0 is included in this set of natural number, it becomes whole numbers. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on are nothing but whole numbers. Now, set of whole numbers plus negative numbers becomes integers. So next is integers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on, that is nothing but whole number is included in integers, as well as negative numbers minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, so on till minus infinity. Okay. Now 0 is neither positive nor negative. So please don't write minus 0. Next comes rational number. So now you know what are integers. It will be easy for you to understand what are rational numbers. As you can see over here, rational numbers are nothing but fractions. Okay. So the definition of rational number is the numbers of the form m upon n are called rational numbers. Here m and n are integers, but n is not 0. To explain this, I'll take one example. For example, m is equal to minus 3 and n is equal to 2. So you can see m is equal to minus 3 is nothing but an integer, and n is equal to 2 is again an integer. So first condition that m and n are integers are satisfied. Okay. Next, it is written in the form of m upon n. So when I write these numbers in the form of ratio, this number becomes a rational number. Now one more important point, that n cannot take value 0. For example, m is equal to minus 3 and n is equal to 0. Is it possible for us to divide 3 and 0? To understand, we'll take positive number. Okay. Is it possible to divide 3 by 0? No. Therefore, this becomes not defined. So n cannot take value 0 because that number will become not defined or infinity. Okay. Next is, we'll see one more example where we'll change the value of n. For example, n is equal to 1. m is minus 3 and n is 1. First condition is satisfied, that is m and n are integers. m is minus 3 is an integer, n is 1, again it is an integer. Okay, and n is not equal to 0. So I hope it is clear. When I write this in the form of ratio, what I am going to get is minus 3 upon 1. After simplification, it will become minus 3. Minus 3 is nothing but an integer. It means that all integers are rational numbers, because in similar fashion I can explain 2 upon 1 is equal to 2, and 2 upon 1 is nothing but in the form of m upon n, and it is a rational number. Okay. So I hope it is clear to you all that all integers are rational numbers. Okay, fine. Now students, for example, we'll take two numbers 0 and 1. These two are rational number. Now you know that half lies between 0 and 1. 1 upon 2 is in the form of m upon n. It means it is a rational number. Then answer the question, how many rational number lies between two rational numbers? 0 and 1 are rational number, and how many rational number lies between 0 and 1? Number of points lies between 0 and 1 will give you the answer. Each point indicate rational number. So how many points are there between 0 and 1? infinite. So answer is infinite rational number lies between two rational number. If I take 1 and 2, again infinite rational number lies between 1 and 2. Okay. So next important note, question based on it can be asked in MCQ. Fine. So we'll see. Next note, there are infinite number of rational numbers between any two rational numbers. Now this can be asked in MCQ form that how many rational number lies between two rational numbers. So answer is infinite. Similarly, possible they can ask you how many rational number lies between two integers. Now two integers are nothing but rational numbers. It means answer will remain same, that is infinite. I hope it is clear to you all. Okay. Next, we are going to plot rational number on number line. Okay. So one example is given to you in your textbook, that is 7 upon 3, 2 minus 2 upon 3. You have to plot on number line. So how you are going to solve this? First we are going to draw a line and points on it at a regular interval. Okay. Now after this, label the points. When you label the points, keep in mind on the right side of 0 are all positive numbers and on the left side of 0 are all negative numbers. Okay, fine. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 so on is on the right side and minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 are all on the left side of 0. I hope it is clear. Okay. Next, these points are always labeled with a name. Okay. So how to label points in maths? Now students, we label them with the capital letters. Okay. So for example, I label 7 upon 3 as A, 2 as B and minus 2 upon 3 as C. So A, B, C are nothing but name of that point. Okay, and 7 upon 3, 2 and minus 3, minus 2 upon 3 are nothing but coordinates of that point. Okay, so over here I'll explain you once we'll finish with the sum. Okay, how to write it. Now which point you can easily mark from the given example? 2, correct? You can see 2 clearly over here. So you can mark 2 easily. So you already got 1 point, that is 2. I label this point as B. While labeling, keep in mind it should be in capital letter. Points are never labeled in small letters. Okay. Now 2 is this point which is marked as a big blue dot. Now name of this point is B and coordinate of this point is 2. So I hope it is clear what is the name of the point and what is the coordinate of the point. Okay, fine. Next, how to mark 7 upon 3 and minus 2 upon 3. So if you observe carefully, 0 first 1 unit, that is 0 and 1 I'll take as an example. 0 and 1 between two numbers, this is called a unit. Okay, now between two numbers, how many points are there? 2 points, correct? So I'm going to count it. Be with me. See, this is 0. Okay, this is the first point, second point, and this point we are going to count as the third point. So this unit, okay, between two number, it is called a unit. Between 2 and 3, this segment, this part is called a unit. So 1 unit is divided into 3 parts. First 0 will remain 0 only, then 1, 2 and 3, correct? So 0 to 1, one segment, one part. Are you getting it? 1 to 2, second part, and 2 to 3, third part. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So this segment or this unit is divided into 3 parts. Okay, now why this is important, now you'll understand. A unit is divided into 3 parts. Unit is nothing but a gap between two numbers. Okay, is divided into 3 parts. Now each point we are going to label as 1 upon 3, 2 upon 3, 3 upon 3. This 3 part will give us the denominator. Okay, in how many parts a unit is divided will give you the denominator. Okay, so first point I am going to write first as this is 1, first point after 0. But the denominator of this point is 3 because of the number of part it is divided into. Okay, next is this point is 2, but the denominator will be 3. I hope it is clear. Okay, next is this. If you observe carefully, 3 upon 3 after simplification it becomes 1. After cancellation it becomes 1. 3 ones are 3. Okay, so we are going correct. 3 upon 3 is nothing but 1. This point is denoted as 1. Okay, if you have any confusion, then wait and watch further how it proceed. Okay, fine. Now students, next is, now these points we are going to write down in the form of a fraction where the denominator of all the numbers are nothing but 3. Okay, so first point is 1 upon 3, second point is 2 upon 3, third point is 3 upon 3 on the right hand side. On the left hand side, same 1 upon 3, 2 upon 3, 3 upon 3, but with minus sign, because on the left of 0 negative numbers are there. Okay, now if you observe carefully, 2 is nothing but 6 upon 3 in the fraction form. Okay, when I simplify 6 upon 3, what I am going to get is 2. So am I going right? Is the labeling correct? Yes, it is correct. Next, if I observe 9 upon 3, 9 upon 3 after simplification, 3 ones are 3 threes are will give me 3. So previously the number 3 is now written as 9 upon 3 in the fraction form. Similarly, minus 6 upon 3 is nothing but minus 2. Minus 9 upon 3 is nothing but minus 3. Okay, so we are not changing the numbers. We are just writing the same number in different form so that the marking of point become easy. Okay, so next is, we are going to mark point A and C on a number line. Now you can clearly observe 7 upon 3. So next is mark 7 upon 3 and label it as A. Minus 2 upon 3, after marking it, label it as C. So you finished marking all the 3 points where 2 points were having denominator 3. Okay, and 1 point was not having any denominator. But I don't think so. Now it is difficult for you to do the marking. We'll see few more sums. Okay, from practice set 1.1. Now this is given to you in your textbook. If you observe carefully, first question, you are going to show all the following questions on a number line. So you are going to plot numbers on number line. You are going to draw separate line for each sum. Okay, so please don't mark all the points on the same line. Fine. Next, we'll see the first sum. The first sum is 3 upon 2, 5 upon 2, minus 3 upon 2. The first thing you are going to do is first draw a line. Next, you are going to put a points on it at a regular interval. After this, mark 0. Center of the line, to mark it 0. Okay. Next, on the right hand side of 0, you are going to write down the positive number, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 with denominator 2. Reason, in the sum number 1, denominator of all the numbers are 2. Okay, so first point is 1, but denominator of that point is 2. So 1 upon 2, 2 upon 2, 3 upon 2, so on. Similarly, on left of 0, you are going to write down numbers with minus sign. Okay, now once you finish doing this, you can easily mark the points of your question. Okay, so first mark 3 upon 2, next is 5 upon 2, and then minus 3 upon 2, and then label all the 3 points. Keep in mind, always with capital letter. Okay, lowercase is not allowed. Next is, if you observe carefully in this sum, 2 upon 2 is nothing but 1. 2 upon 2. After simplification, it will give 1. So this is nothing but 1. And between 0 and 1, what we got is half. Correct? Okay. 4 upon 2. 4 upon 2, after simplification, it will become 2. Correct? So this is nothing but your point 2. 6 upon 2 will give us 3. 2 ones are, 2 threes are. Correct? So this is nothing but 3. So if you are able to write 1, 2, 3, it's completely fine, well and good. But if you are unable to write and getting confused, so don't worry. Whatever method I have shown you, okay, same pattern you follow, mark the points, label it, marks will not deduct. Okay, easiest as well as correct way. Fine, students? Okay, now we are going to see second sum. So in second sum, points are 7 upon 5, minus 2 upon 5, minus 4 upon 5. All the points are having same denominator, that is 5. So what we are going to do is, we are going to draw first line, then points on it, and then 0. Okay, next thing is 0. Once we finished up to this, what we are going to do, we are going to label all the points 1, 2, 3 only, but will keep its denominator as 5. So observe carefully, 1 upon 5, 2 upon 5, 3 upon 5, 4 upon 5, so on. And on left hand side, same way with minus sign. Okay, once we finish with this, we are going to mark the points on it. 7 upon 5, okay, minus 2 upon 5, and minus 4 upon 5. Now label this points. You can take any letter, it's not necessary. Whichever letter I took, you have to take the same letters. Okay, fine. Next is third sum, minus 5 by 8 and 11 by 8. Now what you are going to do over here is, you are going to keep more points on the right hand side of the 0 compared to left hand side. Reason, 11 upon 8 means how many points you required on the right hand side? 11 points. Numerator will give you the number of points, that is 11. And on left hand side, minus 5 means you required only 5 points. So in this sum, what we are going to do is, we are going to draw a line, we'll draw points on it at regular interval. Fine, students, sorry. Okay, next, we are not going to write 0 at the center. What we are going to do is, we'll see to it that we have more points on the right hand side compared to left hand side. Okay, so I labeled it 1 upon 8, 2 upon 8, 3 upon 8, so on up to 11 upon 8. And on left hand side, minus 1 upon 8, minus 2 upon 8, minus 3 upon 8, so on up to minus 5 by 8. Okay, now you can easily mark the points 11 upon 8 and minus 5 upon 8 and label them. Okay, so it is not difficult. Just see to it what is the requirement of the sum. Next, the last sum. Okay, now over here, students, numerator, if you'll observe, it's very large. means 13 and minus 17 is nothing but 17 we are going to take. We require 13 points on the right of 0 and 17 points on the left side of the 0. Okay, so maybe width of the book be the constraint. Maybe if you can manage, well and good, follow the previous pattern and solve the sum. In case if you are unable to manage, I am showing you one trick, okay, how to solve this. Now we know that 13 upon 10 is nothing but 1.3. Now how I got 1.3? 1 0 is there. It means after one digit, I have to count from right side. After one digit, I am going to put decimal. So 13 upon 10 I can write as 1 upon 3. Similarly, 17 upon 10 with minus sign, I can write this as with minus sign 1 upon 1.7. Keep in mind 1 0 is there. So from right hand side you are going to count one digit, 7 is first digit, and then put a point. Okay. So I hope you all know this. Then also I specified. Okay. So 13 upon 10 is nothing but 1 upon 3 and 17 upon 10 is nothing but 1.7. Again I am repeating, I think so I did mistake. 13 upon 10 is 1.3 and 17 upon 10 is 1.7 with minus sign. Okay, so we are going to draw a number line, dots on it at regular interval. Okay, write 0, then mark the points 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, so on. Next on the left hand side minus 1.1, minus 1.2, so on. Okay, now 1.3 is nothing but 13 upon 10 and minus 1.7 is nothing but minus 17 upon 10. So these are the 2 points you are going to mark and then label it. I hope it is clear. Okay, fine. Now students, after first question we are going to solve second question. In this question it is given you have to observe the number line and answer the questions. So first we are going to see the number line. In the number line 1, 2, 3 is written on the right side of the 0 and minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 are written on the left side of 0. Now the point 0 is labelled with O, capital O, 1 is labelled with F, correct? Now if you observe carefully, point C, okay, below point C there is no number. Even below point D there is no number. It means the point C and D coordinates are not given to you. Okay, similarly coordinates of point B and E are also not given to you. So we are going to first do the marking part. Okay, we are going to write coordinates of all the points and then we'll solve the question. So first let's see the whole question, then we'll see how we are going to do the marking and then solve the question. First question is, which number is indicated by point B? It means the number of point B you have to write, okay, but number is not given to you. If it is asked write the number of point A, you know it is minus 3, but over here point B coordinate is not given, so we have to find out that. Next question is, which point indicates the number 1 3 by 4? Over here mixed fraction is given to you. So first you are going to solve the mixed fraction, write down in a fraction form and then check which point it is. Okay. The third question is, you are going to check the statement. Now statement over here is the point D denotes the number 5 upon 2. Is this statement true or false? So point D coordinate is not given. We are going to find out the coordinate of it and see to it that it is 5 by 2 or not. If it is 5 by 2, then we'll say it is true, and if it is not 5 by, if it is not 5 by 2, then we are going to write it is a false statement. Okay, fine. Now students, how to do the marking of coordinate? First we'll see that we are going to observe 1 unit. You can see 0 and 1 is 1 unit. In how many parts it is divided? This is 0, this point is 1, this point is 2, this point is 3, and this one is 4. It means it is divided into 4 parts. I hope you all are getting it. Okay. Okay students, next is 1 unit is divided into 4 parts. So now each point we are going to write as 1, 2, 3, 4 only with denominator 4. So please observe carefully. The first point is 1 upon 4, second point is 2 upon 4, third is 3 upon 4, fourth one is 4 upon 4. If we simplify 4 upon 4, what we are going to get is 1. So we are going in the correct path. 4 upon 4 is nothing but 1. Okay. So similarly, we are going to mark all the points. Okay. Let us check first that our marking is correct or not. If we observe 2 is what? 8 upon 4. 8 upon 4. After simplification, it will become 2. Okay. So 4 ones are 4 twos are. Next is 12 upon 4. 12 upon 4. Simplify it. 4 ones are 4 threes are. Will become 3. Okay. Minus 8 upon 4. Minus 8 upon 4 will become minus 2. Minus 12 upon 4. Minus 12 upon 4 will become minus 3. It means our marking is correct. Once this marking is done, then it is very easy for you all to answer the questions. Okay. So now we'll see the question one by one. The first question is, which number is indicated by point B? Now observe point B and number below it is minus 10 upon 4. So minus 10 upon 4 is the number indicated by point B. Okay. If we simplify this minus 10 upon 4, what we are going to get is 2 2s are 2 5s are. Okay, so minus 5 by 2. So instead of minus 10 upon 4, if you are writing minus 5 by 2, then also it is correct. But in your textbook, answer is given minus 10 upon 4. So whichever you want to select, it's on you. Okay, fine. Now students, next is so we got the answer for first question. Number minus 10 upon 4 is indicated by point B. Okay. Next we'll see the mixed fraction. Now how to solve mixed fraction? 1 3 upon 4. Denominator of the answer will remain same, that is 4. Now between these two number, the operation will be multiplication. Whatever answer you get, you are going to add with this number. Okay, so 4 ones are 4, so you got the answer 4. This 4 you are going to add with the numerator, that is 3. 4 plus 3 is nothing but 7. Okay, you already did mixed fraction in your lower class. So 1 3 by 4 will give you answer 7 upon 4. Okay, so next is 1 3 upon 4 is equal to 7 upon 4. Observe 7 upon 4 on number line. Which point is indicated? Point C. So answer for this question is 1 3 by 4 is equal to 7 upon 4. Hence point C indicates the number 1 3 by 4. Okay. Now the last question is, state whether the given statement is true or false. Now statement is the point D denotes 5 by 2. Now check point D. Point D is 10 upon 4. It is not 5 by 2. So answer is false. Correct? No. Answer is true. Reason: 10 upon 4, when we simplify, we get 5 by 2. Correct? Any doubt in this, students? 10 upon 4, 2 2s are 2 5s are. So 10 upon 4 is nothing but 5 by 2. Okay? And they told you the same thing, that point D denotes 5 by 2. Correct? So if we go in a sequence, point D denotes 10 upon 4, but after simplification 10 upon 4 becomes 5 by 2. Okay, it means point D denotes 5 by 2. So this statement is true. Are you all getting it? Okay. Point D denotes 10 upon 4. 10 upon 4 after simplification becomes 5 by 2. It means point D denotes 5 by 2. Answer is true. Same thing we are going to write down. Point D denotes the number 10 upon 4. But after simplification 10 upon 4 becomes 5 by 2. Hence we can say that point D denotes the number 5 by 2 is a true statement. I hope you all are getting it. If you have any doubt, please let me know. Thank you.